How can you build passion for pretty much any subject? I've spent more than 30 hours reading research articles, watching courses, and organizing all of it into a simple three-step framework based on scientific principles for developing passion easily to pretty much any subject. PET, pick, expose, and theorize. Just like pets, our passions require commitment in time and energy. In the first step, pick, all you need to do is choose an activity that interests you and that you believe you can stick with over the long term. Take a moment to think about how it will fit into your schedule, on which days, and at what specific times you can realistically do it. Research shows that people who use implementation intentions are more successful at maintaining new activities long term. What is an implementation intention? An implementation intention involves clearly planning when and how you will perform an activity, and then creating backup if then plans to handle possible obstacles. For example, if you would like to start public speaking, think about which times you can practice your speeches. Maybe you can fit a practice session in front of a mirror for 30 minutes in the evening when no one is at home. Think about on which days you can dedicate this amount of time. Or what if you have to stay late at your work on a certain day or just do not feel like doing public speaking? What will you do in that case? Thinking about all of these possible scenarios, being realistic about the activity at this stage can be the difference between staying committed long term or setting unrealistic expectations that lead to frustration and burnout. Before we go to the next step, let me present to you a question to think about. What do you think is the difference between children in sports that have developed passion and then later became champions, and those kids who didn't develop any passion and didn't become champions? Research on children in sports found that the key difference between those who became champions and those who didn't was early exposure. The more time kids spent with sport early in life, the more likely they were to succeed. Passion is developed through continuous exposure. So the next step is expose. Expose yourself to your chosen subject in any way that feels enjoyable. Read books, watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, join forums or interest clubs, attend events, or talk to people who are into the same topic. The only rule is to keep it fun. Don't push yourself too hard or worry about making progress yet. The step is just about bringing more of the activity into real life without pressure to achieve or master it right away. In that step, by exposing ourselves, we feed what psychologists call situational interest, but we can call it curiosity for the ease of use. Continuing with the public speaking example, when I first became interested in public speaking, I started by watching more YouTube videos of great speakers, TED Talks, graduation speeches, product presentations. Just by watching, I began to understand what makes someone a good public speaker. As your curiosity grows and you get familiar with the basics, you can start exploring more advanced materials like books or courses. But don't rush it or don't overload yourself. The main goal of this step is simply to keep exposing yourself to the activity to maintain your interest and increase your curiosity. The next step is theorize. This is where the magic starts. You already know some basics of the subject. Come up with ways you can apply and experiment with the knowledge you have learned so far. Taking the example of public speaking even further, think about what if you structure your speech in an unusual way, or tweak the volume and the speed you're speaking with. How will people react if you jump in the middle of the speech? In this step, we are turning externally driven curiosity into intrinsic motivation towards engaging with this subject. We come up with theories, try something new, test our ideas, and tune the models that we have about reality. In this step, we become like children, curious about the world and what will happen if we do a certain thing. Doing something because we're just merely interested in seeing what will happen. The bonus step for this framework is to increase your intrinsic motivation even further using the idea or the framework of flow. If you are not familiar with the concept of flow, basically the flow is a state of mind where you are focused on the activity without any effort or without any distracting thoughts. And basically, we can achieve it by matching the challenge level of the activity that we are doing with the skill level that we already have. If the activity seems to be boring for you, increase the challenge level. And if the activity is too overwhelming and causing anxiety, decrease the challenge level. Continuing with the example of public speaking, maybe speaking in front of a mirror or maybe giving speech to a small amount of people is already boring for you and it's too easy. Then try to give a speech for more people, or maybe try to come up with ways you can use your body language more or use your voice in an unusual way. And if something seems to be too difficult, like giving speech to 100 people, and you feel anxious in the process, try reducing the challenge level, try reducing the difficulty. Maybe give a speech only to a couple of friends, and then look how you feel, if you can achieve the flow state or not. This was the PET method, PET, pick, expose, and theorize. There are so many interesting things to try out in life and develop passion for. So, what are you waiting for? Pick, expose, and theorize. If you would like to receive PDF notes for this video with the references used, you can find them in the link in the description below, where also you can subscribe to a newsletter to receive similar content and ideas in your email. If you are looking for a more effective way to track your habits, I've developed a mobile app just for you. It is based on scientific principles to help you build lasting habits. You can track your progress, challenge friends, and even find a pre-made habit pack based on the PET framework we talked about. Plus, there are preset habit examples to get you started. Download the app from the App Store using the link in the description below. Thanks, and goodbye.